Well, welcome back to Newslink. Watch you on eNCA. The Eastern Cape DA is calling for a commission of inquiry into state capture within the province. The party believes the provincial government has been captured by criminal syndicates. But to get some reaction, I'm joined now by Ngqondi from the ANC in the Eastern Cape. And Gift, thank you so much for your time. A very warm good morning to you. I'm sure you would have heard or at least seen my conversation with Andrew Whitfield yesterday regarding their appeal to the Premier Oscar Mabuyane to institute and pursue a commission of inquiry in the Eastern Cape. They're accusing, the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro of wasteful and irregular expenditure, maladministration, amongst other things. Your reaction?
Thanks very much. The good part is that I watched the interview yesterday, and I think let's first correct one assertion. There's been different coalition governments in Nelson Mandela since 2016. As you know, that there's been different executive mayors from different political parties in Nelson Mandela since 2016. Thirdly is that there's been reports by the Auditor General of wasteful expenditure since then. So it's not something new that only started now because there's a coalition now that involves the ANC and other small parties like your Northern Alliance and EFF. So on that part, Democratic Alliance is disingenuous. Secondly, look, there have been reports by different agencies on Nelson Mandela finances. There have been reports about Nelson Mandela on issues of corruption. You will recall that there was one particular project called IPTS. And that particular project called IPTS, there were reports about corruption. And I can confirm to you now that there are people who are appearing or litigated already in court who were involved in that scandal of the IPTS. So that tells you that agencies of government in this country are hard at work in ensuring that they are cleaning that municipality. There's also a case in point now that involved the city manager of Nelson Mandela. Right. That also involved external people from outside. And that on its own tells you that agents of government are at work. So I don't think it's a good assertion that there's a state capture. Because, there have been people who have been arrested in many different occasions in Nelson Mandela in the fight against corruption. And they don't involve ANC. They just involve officials who work for that particular municipality.
Right. What do you also make about, the allegations around the abuse of public funds in the form of the the program funds from the EPWP? Andrew Whitfield, I'm sure you would have heard telling me that, those funds meant for the poorest of the poor in the province of the Eastern Cape have been abused by the Metro's officials, and therefore is part of the reason why they say they don't want simply just criminal charges. They don't even want the municipality or even politicians being involved in investigations, but they want the Premier to exercise his powers in instituting this commission of inquiry.
Look, I think on the issue of what he raised yesterday about EPWP, you must remember first and foremost that the expanded public works program was brought into the country to address the issues of unemployment, but also to address the issues of poverty, because that particular program is meant for disadvantaged communities who don't have anything in terms of remuneration or income. And if the DA has a proof that that particular program is being abused by officials, they can open a case if they have proof. Because to me, this is just allegations or gossip. Because, if you have proof that a particular official has given a particular project to a particular politician or particular community without following due processes, that means they have breached some of the legal prescripts in terms of local government. So just open a case. And the second thing is that they have their own councillors in council. If those councillors in council, they've got proof, there are many institutions, even organs in the municipality. For instance, you've got your municipal public accounts that investigate issues of corruption. You've got your internal audit in the municipality that also investigate issues of corruption. They must just go there. It does not need a commission of inquiry.
Also, furthermore, to the statements made yesterday, and I'm hoping to get your reaction on this as well, was regarding the Executive Mayor Gary van Niekerk currently facing, investigations for fraud and contravention of municipal finance laws. And also, the DA's stance being that they believed that the powers now should be, on a deputy mayor, be removed from Gary van Niekerk and to be handed over to a deputy mayor while these investigations are ongoing. This was, I understand, actually lobbied in council. I tried to ask, Andrew, if there was any feedback, whether that motion was passed. Perhaps give us some feedback here on that and where you stand with regards to that statement. Gift?
Look, first and foremost, I'm not a councillor. And secondly, if they've got, I know for a fact that one of the political parties represented in council, I think it's ACDP, they've opened a case against Mayor Gary van Niekerk. But I hold no brief for Gary van Niekerk, but I'm not a spokesperson. He must just account himself. And the good part is that he's not an ANC mayor. He's a mayor from the Northern Alliance, so I can't speak on his behalf. I can't even speak on his political party or on behalf of his political party. But we have this view that if really that Gary van Niekerk has abused municipal funds, let investigation, okay, and if he is found to be against the law, then the due processes of the law must take into place, but also processes in the municipality, because we've got also an ethics committee in the municipality. They must also act on it.
Well, thank you so much for taking time out to speak to me, Gift, and also providing clarity on other issues. And as far as you stand as the ANC in the Eastern Cape, that is Gift Ngqondi, ANC Eastern Cape spokesperson. Thank you so much for your time, replying rather to the conversation I had yesterday with Andrew Whitfield from the DA out in the Eastern Cape.